Alright guys, so it's been a little while since we've made a video, about 3 weeks.
Give or take.
Yeah, but we're about to go see another movie because we saw a movie last week but we didn't film it because we didn't want to film it.
But this movie we've wanted to see for about a week now, and this is gonna be this will be fun.
Yeah, it is 22 Jump Street.
Now we wanted to see this movie, but things have gotten in the way. We've had conflicting work schedules. I've had guitar lessons. And we were gonna shoot this episode yesterday. We were gonna watch this movie and enjoy it and shoot this review yesterday.
But just as we were leaving to go to the movie, I got called into work, so we had to stop, and now we are about to go to the movies.
But we're doing this. We're gonna do this, but first, let's just take a little pause.
Yes.
Make sure God wants us to see this movie.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, no phone calls, no sudden anything. So yeah, I think God is fine with us seeing this movie.
Now, obviously, we didn't see the first movie in theaters because there was some
we didn't want
similar It was kind of similar conflictions, but not the same. It was kind of the first movie wasn't really a priority for us the first time around, and because of that, we kind of
we thought let's just skip it.
Catch
it on cable.
But now that we've seen it on DVD and on cable and everything, we very much regret not going to see it in theaters.
So now we're going to go see it. We're going to love Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill returning, and Ice Cube returning.
And also one of our favorite YouTubers is in this movie, Jimmy Tatro. Check his channel out. I'm going to put a link in the description for you guys.
Even though he's not our friend.
We
don't know it. We don't, in the sense that we don't know him. I feel like we'd probably get along kind of with him.
Yeah, but anyway, that's it right now, guys, because it's hot as hell and we need to open the windows, so
we don't want to mess up the audio.
So we'll see you guys in a little bit. We're out of the movie, and first of all, first impressions, it was hilarious as hell. Stay for the end credits, because
it's not that there's an end credits scene, it's that there's the whole credits are the end credit. The whole first half of the credits are the end credit scene.
And just like the first movie, but it's better because this movie makes fun of the sequel dynamic in a lot of ways.
The humor in this movie is very meta. In fact, it mentions a lot of stuff, like it makes a lot of Ice Cube references because he's in the actual movie, so they make reference to that a lot, like, oh, his office looks like a big ice cube.
I loved the cameos in this. There were like 3 or 4 great cameos in it
that we can think of.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of them, but
there were quite a few cameos, all in all.
Especially in the end credit. Most of them were in the end credit scenes.
And let's take into account a few things. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, they did really well. They just melded back into their roles.
Yeah, because they're, of course, really good. But at this, they did really good the first time. I
personally think Ice Cube, there's a whole subplot between him and Jonah Hill's character, and I thought that just basically stole the show. That I laughed the hardest when it came down to that particular subplot.
I loved that side plot. It was like watching it. Those two are so great. Ice Cube is an amazing comedic actor. People don't give him the credit that kind of credit all the time, but he is an amazing.
When he gets an actually decent script, he can really act the hell out of it.
And alright, so
and then Channing Tatum really kicked ass in this movie. He proved that he has great comedic timing. He's not just G.I. Joe or
Magic Mike or anything like that.
He actually has great comedic timing, and he is very funny.
Yeah, it was so fun. A lot of the stuff he had probably the funniest part of the entire movie, which involved Ice Cube and Jonah Hill, in a way, but they had almost no part in it.
They set it up, he knocked him down.
Yeah, and then we have, of course, Jimmy Tatro, who we mentioned earlier, a YouTuber. He's very funny, but he was utilized a lot more than you would think, but
his character kind of dropped out after the first one. We're not complaining or anything,
because obviously he's not a huge actor yet, but
he kind of dropped off after the first quarter of the movie. But his character kind of dropped off after the first quarter of the movie. He was there. He just wasn't a major plot point.
Yeah.
Right, and right, but in all seriousness, if Jimmy Terry Toro is watching, we loved your performance.
And we hope to collab with you someday. And again, channel link in the description. Please check him out. He's awesome.
Anyway, also in the list, we got. Damn, who else is there? Really worth mentioning.
I can't remember names specifically, but let's just say everybody did a good job. The comedic acting was great. The comedic timing was gold, and I attribute that mostly to Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are very much experts at taking something that shouldn't exist and making it happen. Like
the Lego Movie, the two Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball movies that just basically divert all the book did and not really touch anything from the plot. And then a 21 Jump Street reboot as a comedy, and then a sequel to that reboot. Comedy sequels don't usually do well. No.
And they just took it and they just blow it out of the park. They're amazing.
And I think a big part of it can go to the writing. Can also go to the writing because the team of writers did something great because if you really listen or look hard enough, you'll see stuff like there's this scene where Channing Tatum's character is playing football, and if you listen close enough, you can hear that the writers kind of play on old tropes from these stereotypical movies. So in the case of this football scene, it was like he wasn't saying actually football. He was actually saying He wasn't saying In the case of this, he wasn't saying blue 42. He was saying color number.
Yeah, and then of course, there was the scene where they have these two twin guys who live across the hall from Jenko and Schmidt, and I almost wish we could have auditioned for that.
Yeah.
But they were just like the guys were just like speaking in unison, and then they were like, and then Jonah's character was like, yeah, we can do that too. Watch. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Words.
It wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that. But they were just like saying random words, and that's definitely to the screenwriters' credit,
and also to the directing and the acting credits. So yeah, that works great.
And let's see, what else do we need to talk about quick?
Well, we could talk about cameos, but I think that would border on spoiler
Cameos
territory.
are bordering on spoiler territory, even though a lot of people have probably seen the movie. It was number 1 last week, but we're not going to go into spoilers.
Yeah, because as we've said before, if you spoil, you're a Nazi. Like at the end of The Prestige, it's revealed.
No! I haven't seen The Prestige. He saw a spoiler. I'm not going to let him spoil it for me. Because Nazi fucker. Alright, well, I think we should probably give this a rating since we don't really have a lot to talk about for this particular interview. We're trying to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah. So, I give it a 10 out of 10 because this was just funny. It was a great follow-up, and I cannot wait until they move across the street and one to the left, and one to the right, left. One over.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 too. I loved the jokes. It hit really well. It held. The sequel, it's something that it's always great to have a sequel that's better than the original, and I cannot wait for Infinity Jump Street. Check out the credits if you see that you know what that reference is. It's only a brief and you miss a thing, but Infinity Jump Street, hopefully in theaters in 2056. I don't know. It didn't say it. It doesn't say dates on these, but whatever. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. What did you guys think of 22 Jump Street? Leave it in the comments down below. No spoilers, or you're a Nazi. You disappoint me. But otherwise, guys, we will see you guys next time. And bye.
Bye.